Battle control initialized.
Hello there, comrades and cannon fodder. It's Dvoid here. I've got a 1v1 on the new Timian map for you. I'm using Ukraine, and my opponent's actually using Ukraine as well. I didn't realise we'd both pick the same. But this is my first game of the day, and the reason I actually went with Ukraine, because it's my first game, and I wasn't really warmed up, I noticed this opponent who I know this guy. I don't know him, but I know what kind of a player he is. And for my first game of the day, I saw this guy crop up, and I thought, right, okay, well, at least it's a decent warm up, I thought. But I didn't have high hopes for this one. But I picked Ukraine because I've got a new tactic I want to try. Now, I'm not going to mention it because it will completely ruin the whole tactic if I explain it before I do it. So I'll just bear with me on that one. One of these games, one of my posts soon, will show this tactic I'm thinking of, which I can only do with Ukraine. So I'll describe that when I get to it, but if I was to tell you the tactic now, it would ruin it. It would spoil it and make it completely ineffective. So I'll wait until I use it to describe it. But my opponent's got a dog. Now he's moving forward just to look around. I think he's spotted my troops. He's brought his dog back. Now this rifleman's looking for an enemy engineer. I'm trying to take a leaf out of World Peace's book and hunt him. So I know he's got troops around here. So I've got these infantry all over, and I made the same mistake. Look, and I saw this infantryman, got him. His engineer got him. Sorry, but he's done. And then this guy's moving back in case he tries to bring another engineer, and he thinks I'm not looking anymore. Well, he'll get some news if he does. But I'm capturing my oil derrick, and he's not. Now, this is taking a leaf out of World Peace's book, like I say, because it's an irritation, it distracts you, and now I've got the advantage, because I've got 2 oil derricks, he's got 1. Now, he's bringing another engineer, and it's not going to occur to him that I'm still hunting them. I've already killed his engineer, it's done. But you wait and see. And his dog is giving him superior view range. I thought he was firing blind. So I've got to fall back quickly, get my engineer out of there, but I can use the view range of this oil derrick to negate his dog's view range advantage, as long as I stay close enough to it. There you go, look, we've matched. Now, he has overrun me. I've killed the dog, and look there, he's overrun my position. Now, I've got this rifleman, I'm just checking, see if he's got an engineer by his oil derrick, because I know he's got his forces here. Now, my engineer is just saying, yeah, whatever. He's playing it cool. But look, and it hasn't occurred to him that I'm still waiting. And there you go. There's another one. Now, he's going to start get a little bit frustrated with that at this point. Now he's thinking, right, okay, he's thinking. It's changed the flow of his thoughts at this point, because that is irritating. But I'll send him back just in case he gets pissed off and builds another engineer, look, and I wasn't far off. Look at that, I wasn't far off. If I'd have had him an inch this way, he'd have lost a third. But I thought, actually, now I could maybe send my scout vehicle and kill his engineer. But I thought, no, there's no need to be greedy and over the top and risk an APC. I've already delayed him enough, so I'm picking up my engineer, and I'm sending this small initial starting army over here. And I'm thinking, right, now he must be protecting his engineer and capturing this. That's what I thought. So here we've got a clash here. We both must be thinking the same thing. And I noticed he's not got any rocket troops. They're not firing at my APC. So this force here is, I'm shooting the barrels, look, bang, shooting him as he runs away. He's got no rocket troops. I knew it, and I knew this was an advantage and a chance. So I'm bringing up these as quickly as I can. Kill his engineer. Goodbye. That's a third engineer. And this is going to kill his flak truck. There you go. Now, I'm keeping this back, but he is the one who's running, and he's right to, because my infantry can overwhelm him. I'm keeping that my APC back. So I'm dropping off this guy because I know his flak truck's dead, so I'm pretty much doubting he's got a scout vehicle. He should be building his MCV, which he is, although mine is about to build sooner. So I've obviously delayed him, He's a far superior player to me, but my MCV is out, my second one. He's still building his, so I've delayed him with that engineer irritation. And like I say, taking the leaf out of World Peace's book, because that shows you there's a bit of advantage, the plain and simple advantage that he's only just got his MCV out. And being a better player, he should have a far tighter, neater build order than I. But here we go, I thought, right, I've done the damage over here, delayed what I can and distracted him and irritated him, so I'm falling back. I've repaired my APC, now I've dropped my engineer off, and I'm leaving. I have to protect this expansion. So let's see, he's ready to place his refinery. I am in 4 seconds, so he's actually ahead in that sense. Let's see, he's got 4 barracks as well, so have I. We're okay, we're about even, although he did place that sooner. Now I'm building a power plant. He's actually straight into another refinery, but let's check our initial army values at this point. I've got 11,000, my opponent's at 8,000 now. So yeah, there you go, I can see that, and I know he's targeting my oil derrick. He's probably happy to, because he's not happy about it belonging to me. I wouldn't be. That would irritate me if I'd lost 3 engineers and nearly 4. It was lucky. I'm going to remember that and have a few more rifles dotted about next time. Yeah, the more times you do it and get used to it and use these tactics where you're hunting his MCV, his engineers at the start, you get better at it. World Peace was just a pain, and it was a constant feature of his tactics. Now you see we're both going for the forward expansion. Now all good players, like I've said in recent posts, they will tell you you have to take these forward expansions before the backward ones, before the back expansions. Now I used to take this one first because it's a safe, quick expansion, but it's still better to expand forward, and then if you're overrun you can expand back. If you're overrun, or later on if you want more ore supplies, you can expand here, and it's far safer with this up front. So whatever the situation, whether you're winning later or losing later, you've got this rear expansion for backup. And it's always something useful to consider. Always expand forward, although this would be the best position to actually expand to, because the enemy can place units here that will shoot my ore trucks, like I've been saying. These out of view range eco raids, like here, setting up your expansion on this side means you can't detect it. You have to build around, which is what I'm trying to do here, look. I'm trying to build around to protect it, because that's a forward expansion and you need to be on the right side of it. But I'm taking a risk, and I'm actually heading back here to set up another a rear expansion here. But from the scouts I've placed, and those that have been picked off in the middle here by Tesla coils, I know he's expanded forward because I've heard a Tesla coil, but I've got glimpses of his army. I'm at 23,000, my opponent's at 20,000. Now, I knew he had a massive army, so obviously I'm thinking, right, he's just going to hit me with a big horde. And at this point, I would be overrun. You see, here I'd be okay, but here I'm stripping forces away to reinforce the front line here, and it's left me fairly vulnerable. He could come in this way, but this all combined is not bad. It's not bad, it's just I have split my army in half, and that's always a problem. If someone attacks you with their full army in a massive death ball, that's an issue. There you see his Tesla coils, he's placed them very well. I couldn't sneak a thief round there and into his refinery because it'd just get zapped. But look, we've got units moving out. I'm at 26,000, my opponent's at 24,000 army value, and I brought my second MCV forward, so I've got build radius here and here, although it needs to be moved forward, so I can extend my defences around the front of the expansion. Looks like he's shut down his Tesla coil. Let's just have a quick look at the cash. Now I'm moving forward. Yeah, we're both okay for cash, but my opponent's got 9 ore trucks, I've got 8. But here we go, I'm at 29,000, my opponent's at 27. Now, this is quite a small force, and I thought I'm leaving a force here so that if I get attacked by his massive army and overrun, I can fall back and make a second defensive position. Now, here we go, it's kicking off. I'm at 31, he's at 28. And I've immediately noticed that... Oh, I didn't put my grenadiers in the APC, sadly. So they're throwing grenades at tanks. Whoops. But yeah, I've realised immediately I've got to fall back. And that's changed the army values. I'm at 23, he's at 29. So I've got a problem. But I set this up Gonna place base defences, and he's here, look, in between my two forces, and I've got tanks on both sides. I'm good. I've got flamers. I brought up this for the extra view range, and I've got a nice chunk of troops with a couple of tanks in front, and all I need is to maintain some units on this side. Now there's a base defence screening them. Now there you go, it's turned that engagement, and we're both, I'm at 9 to 10, we're both at 9,000. That's roughly where we're both at 8,000. Now my opponent's dropping. Now I thought, right, this is quite good. Now I've only got one tank up front, but it's in full health. I've got another one built. I need those tanks to remain in position. Now I'm at 10,000 army value, my opponent's at 8,000. So I've got the advantage, and he's bringing in aircraft. You don't want to be doing that, but I noticed a V2 launching weapons, and straight away I'm getting the thieves in on the job. Straight away, I'm not messing it up with this guy. Now my opponent's got 8 grand, I've got 10. So here you go, look, I've sent a scout to make sure there's nothing going to stop me. Now I've got 14 grand, he's got 3. So there you go, that's a nice steal. Very nice, that's crippled his income. And he's got more planes, but he's going to have to do better because some of those strafes hit. There's another infiltration, a grand and a half roughly. There's another infiltration, 800 and something. Now he's got he's got 0. Now he's got 0 cash, and I've got 17, so I've slammed him. I've slammed his army, I've slammed his economy. I'm about to now slam his power. He's not in low power, so excellent for that, but I am slamming his power with flamethrowers and that. I didn't want to destroy this. I'll cripple it, make it look like I am going to destroy it, but I'm going to keep it alive. If it dies, I'm going to head this way. Those planes are a bit of a pain. Yeah, a little bit of napalm splashed on that refinery. Now he's attacking, and he's actually, look, he brought a couple of tanks with him. 6,000 army value each, but I'm fighting with defences. You blew it. That was your chance. Now I've got a V2, and he's falling back, and he's right to, although he has blown it. And now I'm at 7,000, he's at 3,700. There you go, as long as I've got tanks to take on these flame towers, the rest is golden. There's more thieves running. V2 is dropping its missile. There you go, get rid of the barracks. I'm at 9,000, he's at 3,900. And there you go, get rid of the barracks, and this, and I thought, right, if that wants to run away, I'll catch it with a thief, rather than destroy it, which means I can't go on the infiltration, but this guy can, and he shot it with a yak. Very nice. So that's a skillful player who does that. Do you know what I mean? I can't deny that. But I'm overrunning this, but I'm not going to destroy it. I've got a thief. Sorry, let me just pause it one moment, see if there's anything worth getting. Yeah, he's got 2,300, so I'll have it, if you don't mind. There's 1,100. Now he's got a grand left. But I've got engineers. Now, that's the chokehold. I've got him. So that means he can't sell this. And I've got 2 engineers. There's one of them, I'm going to put him inside the refinery. And he had moved out the other side. I was distracted, so just like, you know, give me a break for that one. But I've got 2 engineers anyway. Now he resets the capture bar. Now it doesn't matter if the opponent can see it. There's 2 thieves, 2 engineers. Now there's 3 thieves. He's done for. That's it, mate. And if he does stop me from using the chokehold on this, I'll only do it on this one. So now it comes down to the army value, and he hasn't even attacked me here. That's why I riddled it with defences. But he hasn't even attacked me there. He can't. I've got a 13,000 value army. He's got 5,800. And I'm just using the chokehold repeatedly. There's nothing he can do. I'm guarding it now. And he's called it. He's right to. What can he do? I own his money supply. I own his cash. I own it. I own him. So there you go. That was a heck of a fight. And right from this point, when the first engagement went off, look, all the base defences I've plastered there, because I wasn't losing it, and I wanted to keep the view range from that radar dome, because it gives you, look at the view range you're getting from it. It's a really nice thing. It's a risk to place it forward, but it's a really nice ability. It's like a comm centre. It gives you all the view range. That's why I've laced it with base defences, look. And then more here with the barracks, just to stop him using that expansion, overrun him, and then the chokehold. As soon as I saw the opportunity, I went for the throat. And that's, you know, that's proof that the chokehold works. It's a viable tactic. It's sound. And here's the army graph. Look at that. Very close. You know, look at that. Great fight. Up, down. And a very steep drop. Very steep. That's a lot of shed pixels that represents. Right, so there's your army graph for you. Here's the earnings graph. Look at that. That's from thievery. It must be from thievery. That's a massive increase. Look at it. It went up to... Oh dear, look at that. It's, what is that, about 20 grand? It looks about 20 grand. Wow, that's lovely. And that's what that's from. That must be a thieving mark. The infiltrations. Here's my finishing army, a V2, and in another game I did well, I actually had 1 V2. So, I'm actually thinking 1 V2 is actually, you know, that's okay. 1 is okay, and you can handle it and use it, and I don't waste shots as much. 2 or 3, yeah, they're powerful, but I've actually had good results from 1. And it's obviously, I think you'd think 2 or 3 is far better, but it is double or triple the time you're not building tanks. And I've had good results from 1, so I'm going to continue looking into that. But yeah, I've got a V2, a few tanks, not many because they were being destroyed on the front line. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is okay. 5 heavy tanks is that's a decent tank company. So there's nothing wrong with that. And then I've got a few infantry, 3 engineers, 5 rocket soldiers, 21 riflemen. Right, here's the kills, the combat chart. I killed 199, my opponent killed 252, so my losses, I did have to sacrifice pixels for that win. It was fighting, that was. I lost 3 structures, my opponent lost 14, and my army value at the end was 12.5, nearly 12,500. I destroyed 63,000 in my enemy's assets. My opponent destroyed 51,000 of my assets. Very nice, that's a good fight. No support powers in effect. I have got my radar dome, obviously, and thieves, but without an airfield, I haven't got any support powers ticking down. Now, I'm Ukraine, so I said in my previous post last night that you should, especially with Ukraine, build an airfield as soon as you have a radar dome, because they don't take long to build, they're cheap, they only have take 20 power to run them, plus you get the parabombs, paratroopers, and spy plane abilities counting down straight away. So with Ukraine, I need to get into the habit of doing that as soon as I have a radar dome. Even if I'm still building thieves, straight away, just build an airfield. I need to remember that. Get into the habit of doing it with Soviets, with Russians, and especially with Ukraine. Here's my production. I'm producing thieves, more thieves, and heavy tanks. Economy, I earn 123,000, my opponent earned 106,000. I spent 106,000, my opponent spent 106,000. So we both spent 106,000, but that's actually exactly what my opponent earned. He's is a few pennies in debt, but he earned 106,000 and spent 106, so that's excellent. But I earn 123,000, and that's from the thieving. You know? Definitely. From my infiltrations. And I've got 9 ore trucks left to finish, and still got 2 oil derricks. So that was all worth it at the start. The oil derrick harassment and the engineer harassment was well worth it. I've got 21,000 to finish the game. There's the basic chart. 33 actions per minute. My opponent was at 30 actions per minute, and he's a good player. There's the scores for you, 995 to 507. Destroyed, kills, etc. That's totals, though, in kills and deaths, whereas the combat chart gives you a more accurate version of kills, like unit kills and building kills, etc. Whereas on the basic chart, all kills are combined. So yeah, there you go. There's the graphs and charts, and I hope you enjoyed the game. If you like what you saw, give us a sub and a like, because I thoroughly enjoyed that game, and it was my first game of the day. I was not expecting to have such a good game and be so effective in my first game. So thank you very much for watching. Everyone take good care of yourselves, and until next time, goodbye.
Battle control terminated.